Hi, I'm Zoe Monk and I'm Managing Editor at Boutique Hotelier, and today I'm delighted to be the host of Pillow Talks by Hotel Hypnos, where I'm going to be interviewing the General Manager at the Grand Jersey, Andrew Coggins. Let's go for it. So welcome.
Pleasure to be here. It's a rather unusual setting.
How do you find it at the moment with the landscape in terms of competing against the bigger international groups and brands? You know, being an independent, how has that been for you guys?
Jersey's a wonderful place, 9 miles by 5 miles, very cultured, very individual, very independent. I think the key is to do things that the big brands can't do, to be individual, to make sure that we are really looking after our customer with personal touch, and that we're not just another company. And it's down to things like who are our customers, knowing them personally. I do a tremendous amount of meeting, greeting, being around in my 2 hotels. And we've really got to do the things that perhaps the hotel brands can't do day in, day out, which is first and foremost knowing our customers individually.
I guess that also comes down to people's definition of luxury, right? So, you know, the people's perception in the UK is very different to a property in Dubai, for example, and different international markets. How do you get your head around that and approach that?
I think in different parts of the world, as you say, luxury is defined completely differently. Size of a bedroom is luxurious in certain respects. There's a recent hotel opened in London, a well-known Asian company, and their rooms are a minimum of 50 square meters. Now that is perceived to be luxurious, but in other parts of the world you won't get hotel bedrooms above 20 square meters. On top of that, it's the fabrics, it's the interior, it's things like the Hypnos beds that we're sat on. Those sorts of things are considered to be luxurious, and I think also we are well travelled now. Gone are the days of us not knowing what luxury looks like in New York or Singapore or wherever. We all know. So as a result, we have the similar expectations, even if we're staying in the UK, for example.
What about at the Grand Jersey? How do you guys define that luxury?
I think first and foremost, it's about doing the basics right. We've got to have a great bedroom with a great bed. We've got to have a great bathroom. Food and beverage still is vastly important. And so whilst we focus on luxury, we've also just got to get the basics right.
And how does that work for you being part of Handpicked? You obviously still are able to retain, you know, a real sense of individuality and independent operation. So how does that work?
When it comes to luxury, we've gone in so many different directions as to what is luxury, even though there's such things as, you know, it's not long since that we started putting nice coffee machines in bedrooms. Now it has to be a certain make. Next thing you know, it's got to be a certain range of pods that you put in the coffee machine, and it's constantly evolving. And that's when working for an independent hotel or hotel company, you can be more agile because you can change quicker. If you're working for a big corporate hotel company, that takes a long time for them to react across the whole world. So that's where somewhere like the Grand, we can change very quickly if we find that something is being demanded.
And sleep now is an integral part of the whole wellness experience and that package. You know, sleep and wellness really going hand in hand together. I mean, what other things do you think are really conducive to like a good night's sleep?
And really, you know, you can talk about all sorts of things that should be done to make somebody staying a perfect stay. But if they don't have a good night's sleep on a mattress like Hypnos, then we are in trouble. And if you look at where our feedback really shows that is one of the main things that we get congratulated on, which is the fact we've had a great night's sleep. Now, it also helps that we're in a place like Jersey with the sea, fresh air outside. I appreciate that, but nevertheless, it absolutely is critical.
And do you see that loyalty still existing within your customer base?
Yes, very much so, very much so. To the degree that certainly in a place like Jersey that has got a very loyal clientele, because you have a lot of people who come back to Jersey year after year after year. As a result, our guest history on previous people staying is just absolutely phenomenal. It is really interesting, though, that we all want recognition. We all want recognition when we arrive, be it in a restaurant, a bar, whatever. Somebody many, many years ago told me that hotels are very, very fortunate because they have all of this information at their fingertips. And of course we do, but it's then what we do with it. And there's a lot been written, and I'm sure you've looked at this quite considerably, around people now want personalised experiences. In fact, what they actually want is just for us to know in advance what they're looking for when they arrive.
Yeah. And for you guys, in terms of changes to the business, have you done anything this year to really, that you've seen results on, shall we say, that's been different to other years?
At the Grand, we've got a 4-rosette restaurant. And Sicily is incredibly popular. You wouldn't always have that if you were just looking at a P&L of a branded hotel. So for us, it's a passion, and it's one that we're very keen on developing. We have owners who are passionate about food and wine, and so therefore we are allowed, perhaps unlike a lot of other hotels, to have considerable beverage stock. We're allowed to stock unusual wines. We're allowed to do all of that. In fact, we're absolutely encouraged to do it. So as a result, when hopefully you arrive at the Grand, you think, gosh, they actually are doing something different.
Yeah. And like you said, it's a big part of the owner's sort of passion, isn't it, in their projects and stuff? Yeah.
Very much so.
How do you choose which suppliers are really going to be the right ones for you and match your sort of ethos?
You have to have relationships with your main suppliers. You have to be able to be honest with them. They have to be honest with you. If they are quality orientated and you are a luxury hotel, then you're going to do really well together, and there's going to be mutual development.
And I wanted to touch on sustainability just briefly, but in terms of that in your supply chain, are you getting pressure from, customers? Are you seeing more awareness from customers? Are they asking you about sustainability?
There are so many questions being asked of us, and also our staff are driving it. Particularly, I think, the younger staff. There's an expectation that they want to work for a company or for a hotel who recognise what they stand for. And that's around sustainability actions. That's about waste. That's around also social sustainability. What are we doing charitably? What are we doing in terms of working with the local community? And that sort of thing isn't always mentioned. If you talk about sustainability in hotels, invariably, quite rightly, you talk about plastic, you talk about the sort of food splitting of waste and what have you. But equally now our teams are asking for days where they can go and work for their favourite charity, that they want to know more about that side of it. So it's we are being driven, A, by our customers and B, by our own teams.
So the future looks bright for you next year?
Let's hope so. Yeah, 2026. Yeah, I mean, it should be a good year. We've had an excellent year this year. Next year already, we've got some good business on the books. And I think, hotels are resilient beings. We always are worrying about the next day, the next week, the next month, whatever. But, the business comes through. At the Grand, we operated at 88 to 90% occupancy from June through to September. And it falls away dramatically in the winter. But from our point of view, we're looking forward to a very successful year next year.
All right, well, thank you, Andrew. It was great to chat to you.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Do we get to have a nap now?
A nap?
Well, we're on a bed.
On a lovely Hypnos bed.
And just one small thing from Hypnos to you. One of these lovely pillows to go with your socks.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
It's even got Hypnos on there. Isn't that lovely? Well, thank you. I mean, it's been a pleasure. It's so comfortable as well, isn't it?
I know. That's what I mean. I'll have a nap.
I know, yes. It's rather than the fact there's about 50 people watching us, I might fall asleep. Okay. But no, it's been a pleasure.